guys, I'm Kim. Welcome to my home. Today I want to show you my wheat haul. I got several different kinds of wheat and I also got a few other items as well. But the reason for this video is about storing and prepping and emergency food. Wheat is one of the highest valued emergency foods that you can possibly have. It doesn't go bad in its wheat berry form, which is the way you should be buying it. I'm also going to go over a couple of facts that are in this book here by Sue Becker. It is the Homegrown Flour book. It is amazing. If you haven't purchased it already, I have a link below that's to Amazon. I love this book. You can cross-reference, which I have. I've found the same information on the internet that you can find this book, but I love having an actual book and having paper that I can highlight certain things in. So before we get to the wheat berries, I just want to touch on some of the things she has in here, which are very, I find very important, and it's like a light bulb moment. It's like, wow, that's why that is the way it is. Amazing. One of the main things is that wheat alone has 40 of the 44 nutrients that you need to survive. So here's soft white wheat, for instance. If you were to mill some of this up, make it into a bread, and then maybe put it with some beans or something, you have all the nutrients you need to survive. You don't need all the other varieties of food out there in an emergency situation. Now, if all you had was this, and you had no way to mill it, and you had no way to add water or anything to it, well, you need water, because these are too hard to bite by themselves. You can take the wheat berries, boil them in water, kind of like rice, but for about an hour. That's food. Think about the matrix here, people. I mean, it's like, it might not be the best food, but it's sustaining your body and your life. So that's pretty cool too. I just love to be prepared for any situation, you know, so I love having grains on hand. Wheat being the main one, but you can also store rice. Doesn't go bad. Beans, dried beans, they don't go bad. And actually they are a seed. So if you need to, go plant them out, as well as these berries. I live in Southeast Georgia, so the soft white wheat berry is my seed. So if I wanted to go seed a whole pasture, I'd have a ton of wheat. I think in northern climates, it is a more the hard white wheat berries. So you could plant those out. You'd have to do your own research on that, of course. So anyway, so 40 of the 44 nutrients that you need to survive. That is a huge, huge deal. Some other things, the flour that you might be stockpiling, which I did too when 2020 came around. I stockpiled flour like a lot of other people because I wasn't into the wheat berries yet. The stockpile of flour from the stores, not that great. That flour contains no nutrients. If it says enriched though, it contains 3 of the 44 you need. So which one do you rather have? 40 of the 44 or 3 of the 44? Now you can get a hand crank mill. I have one of those. I think I paid around $70 for that, just in case power went out. Great item to have on hand. I do have a Wonder Mill and I love using it. I mean, it is faster, but I did notice one of the viewers asked with the hand crank, could you use a drill to crank it instead of, you know, manually doing it yourself? We tested it, and yes, you can do that. There are some issues with it a little bit. As you can see here, you really have to control the drill. It's easy to lose control without using the actual handle that comes with this mill. We did see where after this one try that just putting the drill on the metal component is starting to wear. So you may not want to use a drill every time, but in an emergency, yes, go grab your drill, especially if you can't find your handle. Special thanks to Wild Turkey 3 for this awesome idea. And later I did find another person wandering around with the same idea. So I wanted to try this out for y'all. Thank you so much. That is an amazing idea. So one of the things I thought was really neat about this book here is the history of flour. So back in the day, everyone used to eat just regular milled flour. Now, I mean, back in like biblical times, I think they took 2 stones and ground those together. But anyway, besides the point. Everyone used to eat the bran, all parts of the flour. They just grinded it up or milled it up and then they'd make flour out of it, right? Well, at some point, they decided that that kind of flour was for the peasants and they sifted it to make it white for the rich people. Well, along the rich people started getting sick, or the wealthy people, whatever you want to call it. They weren't the peasants. The wealthy people started getting sick due to the lack of nutrients, and the poor people did not. Weird. Well, you can think about that today. People call bread bad. Well, bread is really not bad, but it's an empty calorie source because everything's been taken out of it, except if it's enriched with the three nutrients that we need. But if you buy the wheat berries, it's nutrient dense, it's perfect, it's good. I mean, the Bible says Jesus is the bread of life, right? Well, bread is good. It's really not a bad thing for you. So some of the illnesses and diseases that affected the more wealthy because they weren't eating all the nutrients from the wheat were anemia, iron deficiency, bowel disturbances, skin eruptions, and mental instability. Like you're not getting what your body is not getting what it needs because you're not getting those. I mean, countless people, including children, became dependent on allergy medications, antacids, anti-inflammatories, pain relief medications. Does any of this ring the bell? I mean, we haven't been on it but more than a year, a little more than a year. And we have noticed a difference in our health too. And there's been several people that started eating more organically and whole foods and whole wheats, and that things have changed in their life, like no allergies, or hair is growing back. I mean, it's amazing what real food can do for our bodies, guys, for real. I forgot to mention, I also did get a new pan for my Zarewski bread maker, which is amazing. And I'll do that in a totally different video. Zarewski is one of the top bread maker machines that you can use. I do like using it, but I also like making my bread just from hand because I get 2 loaves versus the 1. So that's a whole nother video, and I'll go more into depth on that later. But let's go into what do these grains do and why did I choose the ones I chose. So I did choose soft white wheat. And Riley, can you get a very close up on that so they can see that, please? This is soft white wheat. Well, I guess I can put it here so you can look at it. I bought this one because I wanted to be able to make pancakes, cookies, biscuits, what else? The brownies, cakes, all the pastry-like products that you can make at home, you use soft white wheat for. For part of my haul, I got iron corn, which is an ancient grain, and I'll open that up in a minute. I got a 25-pound bag of real salt. I didn't buy this in my haul, but I did get these because you need a lid to keep all the bugs out when you put it, because you want to store your grain a certain way, and I'll go over that in just a little bit. So I got some lids. Then I wanted to show you 2 different bucket systems, and I'll go over that in a bit. But I also got some hard white wheat and some kamut. Now, if you'll come back over here, we'll talk about what these grains do. I have hard red wheat, which is kind of like this will make bread, and that's why I have it. But this is more of like the darker colored bread that we see out there, the wheat bread that you see at the store. This is what it's made from. Hard white and hard red are for making breads. Okay, next I have spelt, and it's an ancient grain, and honestly I add it to some breads and it gives everything like a nutty flavor. Let me see if there is a different use for that. I found it. So spelt has a soft texture, sweet and nutty flavor. It's light and airy, and you can use it in both yeast and quick rise breads. Cakes, cookies, quick breads, muffins, pancakes, all that stuff. It just gives it a little more of a deep tonal flavor, if that makes sense. So I like to use it in our pancakes a lot. Okay, so, drum roll. This is iron corn. I don't know much about it except that it's one of the most ancient of all ancient grains, and I wanted some, so I got this gallon tub. Let's open her up. Now, once I open this up, I have to be able to store it correctly. We don't want bugs getting into it and then everything's tossed. Oh my. I can't get it open. Is that all I'm supposed to do? Ow. Oh, it's on there. Okay. Assistance. I need some assistance. No. Oh my gosh. This is iron corn. Looks a lot like hard red. So that's one reason to label your grains here so you don't get them confused. Let me smell it. Has no smell. But what's cool is with the right conditions, these are all my berries or seeds. I could totally plant this out. Now that I have this open, how do I store my grains? So I would not just want to put this back on here because I don't think it's going to be bug proof. I mean, maybe for a little bit. But with this much right here, I'm going to end up putting probably 2 or 3 of these I'll fill up because this is airtight. If I would have got this in a bag, what you have to do is you need to put it in the freezer for about 4 days. It will kill off any kind of bug, especially the weevil. Don't forget to put it in the freezer because there might be eggs and I mean they can't keep everything out, right? So put it in there for 4 days, take it out, let it get to room temperature, and I just put it in another bucket. I put it, I get my buckets from Uline for the most part, food safe grade. And then some people put oxygen absorbers in there. Some people put bay leaf in there. I haven't done any of that and mine have been just perfectly fine. So last summer I got a shipment from Amazon. We buy wheat from Amazon. I think it's Great River and I'll link them down below too. Organic, make sure you're getting organic. But they come in bags, so you have to stick those in the freezer, do the thing, and then stick them in a container. So bugs can't get in it if you want to store it for a long time, right? Yeah, I missed a bag and I put it out. I don't know what I was thinking, but I put it with our other grains, which are in containers. So it was fine. It was fine. But I went in there one day and I heard vibrating. I mean, literally vibrating. The bag was moving. No, but it was vibrating. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I took the bag out and Adam, my husband, he stuck it in the fire pit and lit it aflame, right? Lit it on fire. And all these weevils just were going nuts. I mean, I'm talking thousands of them that have been feeding on that wheat. It stinks because that's like 40 bugs gone. And it's food that could have been for storage. But these things happen, right? I'm not perfect. So anyway, the process is important. Once you do the process, you need to get it into a bucket because those bags are not completely sealed like a bucket is, and weevils can make their way, or bugs can make their way to your food. So learn from my mistakes. Come on over here. I want to open, I got 3 containers of kamut. And the reason why, let me open it first and I'll talk to you. Oh, goodness. Oh, see, this one came off easily. Oh, it's kind of satisfying. Okay. Ooh, see, at Brad Becker's where I got this, I'm part of a co-op that delivers and we go pick up. They seal it with CO2 cartridges. Cartridges? Is that right? Cartridges? Cartridges. I don't think it was cartilage. Oh, that's gross. So I just heard so I have 2 more that I will not open until I'm ready to use it. But this one I wanted to show you, and I did get the lid, the special lid. It keeps all the bugs out. Oh my, this is hard. Oh, I'm trying to get it. Oh. This is an ancient grain. So this grain is what you use to make pastas and tortillas and all the good things, right? All good things. Hard white wheat looks a lot like hard red wheat. It's just a lighter in color, but I'll open it up for you. Let me just look at it. Here. Can't even get it open here. I like these buckets. I like the red. Hey Larry, careful. I like the red little tab here. You just push it in and it makes it roll. Now if it's not pushed in, when you're starting, it's not gonna move, right? It's locked and sealed. We got these on Uline. I really love these. But what's cool is you have the rubber around it so that you know everything's sealed and tidy and tight and no bugs are getting into your food. That is one option. I like putting my pasta from the store in here as well, because a couple years ago, our store, I mean, all the boxed ones, I don't buy boxed pasta anymore, because every time I went, I would bring home weevils. And then one time, they got into my other stuff because I didn't know they were there, obviously. And we threw out half our pantry. I don't appreciate that. So now I do not buy boxed noodles. I just buy kamut to make my own pasta. But if I do have to buy it from the store, I buy it in bags, like the ones from Italy, the fancy ones. I don't know if they're fancy, but they look fancy. But I do place them in here, have them quarantined, and that way, if anything is in them, it catches them. So I want to cover these a little bit. This one, Gamma. I'm glad it has a name there because, you know, I'm not good with names. So Gamma Seal Lid. This seals your food in and keeps everything out. These are not washed yet, but let me show you what it does. Okay. It's not going to touch the food. I think we're okay. So to do Gamma lids, you have to put it on and then push it down all the way around. So this part becomes one with your bucket. Perfect. Now you have your lid that will go on. Now guys, I'm going to take this back off and wash everything. Don't worry. You're going to put it in. And now, oh, I can't do it any longer anymore. Now your food is secure. Good. These are the grains that I have in my storage. I have soft white, hard red. Now I have iron corn, I have kamut. These are the basics. You can branch out and get a whole variety. So if you just need to start out and get a couple, I suggest getting the soft white and the hard white or the hard red, either one. Those are the 2 to 3 that you definitely need to have survival food on hand. All right, guys, that's all for today. I hope you're inspired and maybe learned something or two, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.